Hi everybody, I'm Dee.
And I'm Jay,
and we are ParoDeeJay.
We are here today with an informative video. Isn't that exciting? We just recently returned from a trip to Mexico.
Can you tell?
I know, we're a little sunburnt and tan still. But some new guidelines have just gone into play recently, and we got to experience those.
Yeah.
So we figured we might as well bring you the latest and greatest updates.
Share it with you guys.
That's right. I have my notes on my phone as usual because I want to make sure I don't say anything stupid.
And miss anything.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So the main point is that as of January 26, 2021, any air passengers entering the United States, age 2 and older, the CDC now says you have to have a negative COVID test result no more than 3 days prior to coming back into the country. This was new since the last time we traveled to Mexico. And the U.S. is accepting rapid antigen tests just fine. I think Canada had some different stipulations in play, but I think Canada's kind of locked down right now.
Or you can have a doctor's note saying that you have recovered from COVID, from 90 days ago?
I forget the time frame, but I know it just said, the CDC website says proof of a recent positive test, and then like documentation from a health professional that you have recovered and have been cleared for travel.
Correct.
So one of those two things. And then I guess we'll go ahead with the rest of the regulations, which is after you get home from travel, you are supposed to, they recommend that you retest 3 to 5 days after you get back home and self-quarantine for 7 days.
Yep.
Or if you decide not to retest, you should self-quarantine for 10 days.
Oh, 10 days.
But either way, if you choose to test or not test, you should avoid being around high-risk people for 14 days. So pretty
We're on
standard.
day 3 of our quarantine.
We are.
Yep.
And like I said before, this was just for passengers entering the U.S. because it's the CDC. The good news is that most of the hotels and resort chains around, at least Mexico where we went, and I think around the Caribbean and all, are including this in your stay.
Yes.
I know some of them are doing it at a cost.
Right.
They're offering on-site testing, but a lot of them, it's included with your rate. So, to help really promote that tourism.
Yeah.
So like I said, we just got back from a trip. We visited 3 different properties over the course of 2 weeks in the Riviera Maya, Mexico area. And all 3 of the ones we went to were offering on-site testing. I believe it was included.
It was included.
Okay, which was, we just did Hotel Catalonia, Riviera Maya.
Grand Serenas and Sunscape Aquamal, which is part of the AM Resorts family, and all of theirs are doing it.
Like
I don't know if the other ones have like other resorts with them. Catalonia, I guess, is pretty big too.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
But they were all offering it included. I guess, and then the big question is, because somebody asked me this recently on Instagram, what happens if you test positive?
Oh, so the resorts...
You can't come home.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't. The resorts we went to, you get your results back pretty quick, and so that you would know, they would take you away. Typically, if you don't have any symptoms or you're not actually very ill, it would just be to another part of the resort. A lot of them are including a 14-day, up to a 14-day quarantine in your stay at no additional cost.
That's
definitely check with your resort provider to make sure that that's something they offer. If they have like blocked off a section of rooms for that. Luckily, we didn't have to experience it.
This is true.
Some of them are offering quarantine at a discounted rate, but all 3 that we went to offered it as an included part of your stay.
Yeah, but check with who you're staying with to see, A, do they offer on-site testing? B, is there a cost? Is it included?
Right.
And what's the contingency plan, should
If
you
something
test
happens.
positive?
Exactly.
Always good information to know. So I guess let's go through now our testing experience. All right, walk us through our testing process.
Oh, so when we checked into all 3 resorts, they asked us, when we were flying out and what day we wanted to set it up. 2 of them, obviously, we didn't need the test.
Right, we
the
were
third one we
back-to-backing.
did. So they set that up at check-in. They give you a specific time to go somewhere. On the date that you're required to go there, you do have to take your passport and yourself. Those are the only 2 items that were required for us. They take you into a small testing room, and just myself and Jay, the lady observing, and then the person doing the test was all that was in there. Hand sanitizer. Take your passports. They fill out the information they need for that because I think they upload it to your flight information.
I think it's digitally linked. It's in like a database.
And then the lady is in full garb, or a gentleman. In our case, it was a lady.
Right.
Yeah, with a face shield and like full PPE. Is that what you call it?
I think so.
Outfit. I was gonna say costume. And then they have everything was sealed, very clean, very sterile. You could tell that they knew what they were doing. And it was just the nose swab, which was the lovely nose swab. And you just sit there and it's like, I don't know, 10 seconds a person.
It didn't take long.
It doesn't hurt. It tickled me, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I laughed.
Because the lady
But
said people will sneeze on her
up
sometimes.
in your nose,
Yeah.
and 1, 2, 3, pull it out, and then they do their thing. They test it, and we had our results within
It was like a half hour.
30
or so.
minutes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. So super rapid. Said anywhere between like 20 minutes and 2 hours. But about a half hour, we had letter in hand saying that we had tested negative.
COVID not detected.
And I think it went, like you said, into some digital database.
It did.
Because we had to show our letters when we checked in at the airport. But I'm pretty sure it was just like, ching ching, they could verify it.
Just make
in
sure
the
you
digital.
have all of that. So you had to bring your passport back to get your results also, because
True.
you had to match your passport number up with the number on the letter to make sure that that was, you know, corresponding with you.
Yeah, don't be faking. Don't be nobody trying to Photoshop any test results.
No. We're not actually going to show ours because, I don't know, I think that's risky.
Yeah, that's weird. Like they say, don't show your vaccination cards, don't show your test results.
Yeah,
I mean, people
but
could be
it was
photoshopping.
painless. They were very
was.
professional. You could tell that they knew what they were doing. It was quick and easy. You know, it didn't ruin our vacation or take away any extra time or anything
True.
like that. So, and it was something we knew we were going to take a risk doing. So we were happy to do that.
Yeah, I mean, when we traveled, we knew, I think we flew to Mexico on the 27th, which was the day after all of the stuff took effect. And we knew, as part of our vacation, that this is just something we were going to have to do. But just the peace of mind from these resorts and properties that are including it, they're making it very easy. No cost, at least for the rapid test in a lot of cases. They're really doing everything they can to make it easy, safe, and make you feel comfortable.
And their sanitation is off
really
the chain.
is.
I cannot believe the lengths they go to make sure everything's clean. And they're only operating currently at about 30% occupancy.
True, maximum.
Jay and I weren't around anyone.
We really weren't. But one of the places
no
we went
one,
was
hardly.
like 7%. I mean, they were empty.
Yeah, so, you know, it's your choice, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
We're just giving you the facts.
That's right. We're not telling you that it's okay to travel for you. We just said it is okay to travel for us. And we take the precautions.
Correct.
We travel with our face masks and
Double mask.
excellent hand sanitizing skills. Speaking of, when we went in that room to take the test, I mean, they sanitized us on
Like
the way
4
in.
times.
It was like sanitizer shower up in
Yeah.
there. I don't even know.
It was good.
All right, what else did I miss? Let's go through, I guess, well, the other thing that you wanted to point out, too, was just how stringent they were being possibly on the,
on the
traveling
airline.
back and forth. Right.
Yeah, so we flew Southwest on the way back, and it's a CDC, or it's a federal mandate now,
It is.
is that you have to wear a mask traveling, basically anywhere, which I thought it was before, but apparently it wasn't.
Well,
It
it's
was just
mandated
suggested.
on international flights for sure.
But anyway, they were not playing around. There was a few people that it was falling down below their nose, and the lady's like, look, if we get to Baltimore, we're going to have to fill out paperwork. There is a fine. Just keep your masks on.
she was
Do what you
funny
can.
about
She
it.
was funny about it. She was
She's
super
like,
nice.
we're trying to keep your money in your pocket. There is a fine. You know, if you didn't have one that fit you well, they would give you one.
Yeah, no, so they were definitely making sure that, you know, that mask stayed on you at all times. Unless you were eating or drinking, which in between sips and bites, you were required to put it back on.
Right, because I've seen a lot of people who be like, I take a bag of trail mix and
eat
I'll
the
eat
whole
one
time.
piece every time. No,
They did not allow that.
Right, you take the mask down, you put something in your mouth, and you put it back up as you're chewing. You know, you don't leave it down.
No.
Or if I've got a Frappuccino and I have my mask hanging, I'm like, well, when you're doing that, you gotta put that mask
Don't
back
be those
up.
people.
You gotta put that mask back up, okay.
But they weren't playing, which I was happy to see. You know, they're doing what they can. Obviously, they don't want to get in trouble.
Right, now the domestic flight, they didn't care.
They did mention it several times. They just...
But the international, it was notably stricter on the
Very
international leg than it was our domestic leg.
And we had about 20 people on the plane.
It was not.
So, yeah, you take it with a grain of salt. But that is what they're trying to implement.
All right, but that's really all I can think of about the new mandates and everything that's in play. But I figure let's end this video also just by going over the procedures and our experience with actually getting ourselves to Mexico and back, the process.
Yeah.
We flew into Cancun International on the 27th of January via Southwest from Baltimore. Baltimore was our connecting, that was basically our international flight was Baltimore to Cancun. So before you go, or when you arrive at the airport, you do have to complete what they call the questionnaire for identification of risk factors in travelers. Now, this is just for Mexico. Different governments have different documents. This was specifically for entering into Mexico. And this QR code you can scan at the airport, just poke, 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 and you show it to the gate agent when you check in. Usually security is also supposed to check it. Sometimes they don't. I don't remember temperature screenings on the way down. I remember them on the way back. Do you?
When we landed in Cancun, yes.
Okay.
Mexico is very good about the temperature scans. It's like a thermal imaging camera that you can tell that they're using it. And you walk through. Is that what
But
you call
I
it?
don't remember one on either of
No,
our domestic
there
check-ins.
wasn't.
But it was in Cancun, yeah. You fill out your immigration forms as usual. It's one per person. The airline usually gives them to us, and Southwest did. We filled them out on the plane. In Mexico, you go through immigration to get your tourist card stamped. Don't
lose your card.
The tourist card. You
Do not
need it. You collect your luggage. You walk through customs. It's kind of a random screening process. Like to have a dog there, they may stop you and ask you a couple of questions, and then boom, you're free to go about your merry way.
Yes.
In each of the video series that are coming up, because we've got 3 different resort vlog series that's coming up, we'll cover the safety protocols at each individual place, like in the wrap-up video, I think. There's probably not a point to sit here and hash that out.
No, that's
here.
too long.
We flew back home on the 9th of February, so all the protocols were fully in place, still Southwest connecting through Baltimore. Again, we had to complete the questionnaire for identification of risk factors in travelers, and they did want to see it when we checked in for the flight. He also wanted to see it at the security spot.
Yes, Mexico was very good.
They don't play around.
No, they were doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah, but there was a new form when we got to the airport that we didn't even know about that was called the U.S. Government Attestation Form, which was just a couple simple questions about have you been exposed, blah, blah. But again, you fill that out. That goes into a digital database because remember, we filled it out and he had to find it after we submitted it in his computer and link it to our passport. So they're, they're serious about all this.
Jay put the wrong date.
I did. I put the wrong month. I put January instead of February. Anyway, they let me fill out.
They did.
One. But that can be completed online ahead of time.
Or they have the QR codes right at the airport.
Right. And you have to show your tourist card to get back home. Do not lose your tourist card.
Correct.
How many times we got to say that?
A lot.
Temperature screenings, they definitely had them. Yeah, it was like you basically just walk through and you see somebody sitting at a desk.
Oh no, you could. It says.
And a computer screen, and they're checking your core body temperature there or whatever. No other special forms other than they did walk around on the plane offering customs forms, but that was only for non-U.S. citizens.
Right, on the way back.
U.S. citizens landing in the U.S. didn't have any other special forms to fill out. In Baltimore, again, you come in through the U.S. immigrations. They ask you if you got any, food, drinks, or cows, live agriculture, that kind of stuff. Then you collect your luggage. You go through customs, which for some reason
they
was
did not have
closed when we went through.
Yeah,
so they just slid us right by customs. And then if you have a connecting flight, you would recheck your bags at the domestic counter. And then after that, it's like any other domestic flight.
Right.
So that was the process.
Yeah, it's a lengthy process.
It's lengthy, but it's pretty easy and it's pretty smooth overall. So
not bad.
We have not had a bad time traveling back and forth to Mexico yet.
No.
Everything has been pretty simple, but just understanding the new requirements and accepting them as part of your vacation. And if, you're not a fan of the new requirements, probably, do more domestic traveling, I guess. So no time like the present to get out there and discover America, right? But
do your research.
That's true.
Make sure you're checking with whatever resort you're going to, what their protocols are.
Right.
Facebook groups are a great way to do that. Call them, message them on Facebook. There's always a way to get in touch with them.
Yeah, and I found a few articles that are talking about the resorts that do offer the testing and whether it's a fee or free. I'll try to put check the description of this video and maybe the first pinned comment on YouTube, and I'll have some links down there that you can check to see. But most of the major providers, they are getting on board and they really want you to come see them, and they're making it really easy.
They are. They're doing the best they can.
Yeah. So, but that is all. That's all the words I had for this video.
It's our informative video about going to Mexico and coming back.
Exactly. But the videos are coming soon.
Yeah.
We've got Hotel Catalonia, we've got Grand Serenas, and we've got Sunscape coming. Good times. So I guess if you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, become a Paromaniac today, socialize all our media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yep. And until next time, rock on.
on.
Bye.
Bye.